Presidential aspirants under the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, are still speaking on how they would change the face of governance in the country if given the opportunity. The governors of Sokoto and Gombe State, Aminu Tambuwal and Ibrahim Dankwambo, both had a stopover in Bayelsa State to seek support of the PDP members in the state. The Bayelsa State Governor, Siriaki Dixon, wants Nigerians to believe in the party.
It's barely 2 weeks to the National Convention of the People's Democratic Party, where its presidential candidate for the 2019 general election will emerge.
It's more comfortable.
But before this time, aspirants for this position are leaving no stone unturned in ensuring that they get the party's nod for the top job. Two of such aspirants are governors of Sokoto and Gombe states, who are in Yenogwa, the Bayelsa state capital, to solicit support of the state governor, Siriaki Dixon, and delegates ahead of the primary.
PIB bill will be immediately reintroduced, and by the grace of God we shall have established a very free, transparent and credible process of petroleum industry in Nigeria. We shall pay serious attention to science and technology and take advantage of the raw materials that we have in country. We shall encourage our youth to come up and apply the God-given talents that they have, so that we can develop our own solutions.
From the pool that PDP has trained, one of those people can fill up the leadership gap. I want to assure you today, if our party finds somebody better than me to lead our party to compete and win the election in 2019, I will support the wish of our party.
The Bayelsa state governor believes the country is in dire need of a detribalized leader.
Nigeria today is calling for competent leadership. Nigeria is calling for a capable leader. Nigeria is calling for a unifier. Nigeria is calling for a leader who will take the entire country as his own.
There are at least 12 aspirants seeking the presidential ticket of the PDP. Observers say the task before the party now is to conduct a primary election that will not only be acceptable to all the aspirants, but to members of the party.
The Lagos State Governor, Mr. Akinwumi Ambode, says that he is ready for Saturday's All Progressives Congress primary election. Members of the party across the state are expected to choose the party flag bearer through direct primaries. Governor Ambode has also expressed his readiness to contain. His readiness was expressed in a letter contained where he issued, which was issued by the Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Mr. Kainde Bamibeton. The statement reads in part, "I am happy to restate my commitment to participate in that process, having procured and submitted my nomination form and having formally declared my intention to seek a second term to continue on the path of unprecedented growth and development that our state has witnessed since 2015. The governor also expressed gratitude to the national leader of the APC, Senator Bola Tinubu, party leaders, executives and members, as well as every Lagosian. He acknowledged that their support, understanding and prayers have assisted him immensely in the process through which Lagos State has redefined the concept of greatness. In a democracy, the legislature has a significant role to play in the development and growth of a country. Nigeria's legislature is the youngest arm of government, having been truncated by military interventions over the years. In this report, we examine the role of the legislature in national development and how well this arm of government has stepped up to its role of nation building.
On October the 1st, 1960, Nigeria came into being as an independent country. It started started its journey adopting a legislative system like the British Westminster Parliament. Under this system, the Prime Minister, as the leader of the party with majority seats in the Parliament, was the substantive head of government at the federal level, while the President was a mere ceremonial head. This journey was brought to a sharp halt by a military coup in 1966, leading to about 13 years of military rule, during which the Independence Constitution was set aside, making the Parliament of no relevance, and legislations were by decrees. In 1978, another constitution was introduced, which moved Nigeria away from the Westminster parliamentary model to a presidential system, with a clear separation of powers between the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. But the military would return in 1983 and stayed till 1999, when a democratically elected civilian government was installed and the legislature returned after a long absence.
In the history of Nigeria, we are celebrating 58 years of independence. Therefore, about 30 of those years, the country was ruled by the military. And throughout those periods, the parliament was completely absent.
However, the National Assembly in the early days of the Fourth Republic was involved in a series of scandals, leadership crises, and allegations of corruption.
In the first 8 years of the Fourth Republic, the legislature at the federal level had a very difficult problem because the then President Olusegun Obasanjo thought he had a right to determine the leadership of the National Assembly, as well as to direct them on how to do their work.
Section 88, subsection 1 of the 1999 Constitution states the power of the National Assembly. There are diverse views on how well the federal legislature has performed its role over the years.
There has been progress in many areas. They have made some laws that has advanced democracy in the country. Let's take, for instance, the Freedom of Information Act, which now makes it possible legally for any citizen to access information. Look at the Public Procurement Act, the Fiscal Responsibility Act, the NIETI Act, which are all responses to deal with issues of corruption in the country.
The legislature should have been the stabilizing force of our democratic experiment. The stabilizing force in the sense like that if the executive mismanage money, the legislature is not bound to follow them. They should have used the power of checks and balances and oversight to call the executive to order. And if they themselves are not stealing, it will be very easy to be able to say, censure the executive and say, you must return this money which you have stolen. No, don't do it this way. This is the way to go. But the executive and the legislature began to compete in terms of who will steal more, who will outmaneuver more.
Over the past 8 years, we've seen the opposite trend of the legislature increasingly encroaching on the power of the executive. They've done so through control of the budget process.
The oversight function, they've not done well. Look at what they're doing with constituency projects and votes. You see, like we just finished a research on primary health care. You see tens and hundreds of primary health care institutions being built, they've completed them, taken over by WITs in different communities in Nigeria because there was no community consultation. If you are a representative of your constituency and community, how come you said this is the priority of your community? And when you finish, it's taken over by WITs. If that was the priority of your community, as we are completing it, the community is taking it over, even if government is not coming.
More than ever before, it is extremely important that Nigerians elect competent people to represent them in the National Assembly, as the fate of the country's economic, social, and political development largely depends on the legislature.
We'll have more on the performance of the legislature in the past 58 years here on the news at 10. In the meantime, the death toll from the gas explosion in Nasarawa State has risen to 14, while 9 other victims who sustained serious injuries are to be flown to South Africa for further treatment. This was revealed by the state governor, Tanko Al-Makura, when he received drugs from the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, the NNPC, at the Government House in Lafia. The leader of the NNPC delegation, Isa Inuwa, recommends that people keep to safety standards while handling issues that concerns volatile products.
At the last count, we have 14 deaths. We still have one patient in the National Hospital with about 8 in Gwagwalada. We have thought about flying them to South Africa where they could get the right kind of treatment because the nature of their problem was such that was beyond our capacity to handle, because the degree of burn was more than, in some cases, more than 60%, and the chances of survival was not very encouraging. And to make matters worse, it was not possible to fly them out in that situation. We were advised to leave them to stabilize until such time they would be okay to fly out of the country. We are still on that, and God willing, with the response they make into the treatment, I'm confident that the remaining 9 patients are likely to survive the trauma.
When the news at 10 returns, Federation Accounts Allocation Committee shares 741.8 billion naira amongst federal, states and local governments as monthly disbursements for August 2018. That's on Business News. Join us again.